Shabbat for three. Bang! He is hard to believe. Here's Jordan. The Magic, a 360 turn with the dribble. Magic down the middle. You got it, the Worthy. Sliding up.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper for our second playoff recap. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on all platforms at YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast, Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify, and of course to follow us on all social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Dime Dropper Pod. So for this recap, since we just released the full one tonight, we're going to keep it a lot shorter and talk to the live subscribers a lot more. We're going to talk about the two games that happened tonight, two kind of snoozers, I'm not going to lie, between the Bucks and the Heat, and then the Nuggets and the Blazers, which is currently about to finish. Let's start with the Bucks and the Heat. This was more of I would say an equal must-win game for either. Not a must-win game for either, really, but I'd say more so for the Heat. If they want a real chance of winning this series, going down 2-0 is never easy, and they got punched in the mouth from minute one and never looked like they were even close to getting back into it. You've got to give Milwaukee credit. They looked like they were the team down 1-0. That loss in the bubble clearly stuck with them because they're playing with a vengeance, especially Giannis, who I thought was incredible tonight. And he started with guarding Jimmy Butler a lot more of the game. Again, Jimmy Butler was struggling. Bam Adebayo had no mid-range game. And the Miami Heat overall, Kendrick Nunn was missing easy shots. They were so out of sorts. I've never seen a Miami Heat team, this Miami Heat team, roll over like that, look so toothless and pathetic, and the Bucks demoralized them with their incredible three-point shooting, especially with the bench guys. Bryn Forbes was looking like Klay Thompson, making every catch-and-shoot three he was taking, and a lot of that came from them doubling Giannis in the post. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with doubling Giannis in the post before he gets off. You know, I know he can be you need two guys to guard him. But when he's posting up against an Ariza or Jimmy Butler, shit, I'll take my chances seeing him score first before I'm doubling off great shooters. And I feel like they just kind of doubled to start. And I don't think that Giannis warranted that kind of attention in his game one performance one-on-one. But regardless, Bryn Forbes, Pat Connaughton, they made him play. You know, Pat Connaughton made him pay. Pat Connaughton was hitting deep threes. Like 25, 26 footers, you know, off the catch. And the Bucks were up 26 points after one, 46-20. And a lot of that was their tough defense as well. Giannis, Drew Holiday. I noticed Brook Lopez, very good defense on Bam Adebayo, you know, showing and recovering well because Bam's not the type that's going to pull you away from the basket. So Lopez can just show on Jimmy Butler or a Goran Dragic and then get back to Bam. He did a really good job of that tonight. And I think that the Heat, they were just so disappointing. Tyler Hero continuing to play like trash. It's exactly why I didn't pick the Miami Heat to win this series. Dwayne Dedmon was their best player today. Actually looked like he cared. 19 points and 9 rebounds. Tyler Hero, 4 points, 1 of 5. And he played only 18 minutes. He was total garbage. Duncan Robinson, 2 of 6. 2 of 6 from 3, only 10 points. But Jimmy Butler, 10 points, 4 of 10. You know, he's not the best shot maker in the world. And, you know, I've called him a top 10 player in the league for a year now, since last year. And I'm not going to go into the childish bubble fraud stuff. I genuinely believe that Heat team was the best team in the East last season because Giannis this year is playing more off the ball. At least in this game, he played a lot more off the ball. And it is so much more effective having Giannis pick and roll because you need to throw two guys on him at the roller. And if you're throwing two at the ball handler, that rotation better be quick because not only is Giannis strong, he's athletic. When he's diving to the basket, you need to either get there before the pass gets to Giannis or you got to be ready to take a charge or ready to just meet him head on one-on-one because he is too strong. He's like a bull coming down the lane on the roll. It is so much more effective. And you saw the difference with the Drew Holiday tonight as opposed to a Bledsoe. How great of an addition was Drew Holiday. Now you're really seeing the benefits of it. He's able to take pressure off of a Giannis. He can guard Jimmy some possessions. He can let Giannis guard Jimmy some possessions while he guards like a Dragic. And Dragic didn't look like himself tonight at all. He looked like the Dragic that I more so expected in this series. Actually, he still played decently in this field goal percentage, 5 of 11 and 18 points, but he didn't scare anybody, and nobody really scared anybody. Ariza, I mean, he was a big downgrade from Jay Crowder. Let's be honest. This roster just isn't as good. And Goran Dragic isn't playing the same. Just not in the same rhythm. But Jimmy Butler, you got to look at the top. Bam Adebayo was moving with more swagger last year. But Jimmy Butler, he's just been – he needs to step it up. And he was talking about how locked in he was before this. And this is one of my favorite players. I always stand up for Jimmy Butler. But this is really unacceptable right now. And now all the pressure's on the Heat. But Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, they've been so good so far. And I just love Giannis' effort tonight. Fighting hard, offensive rebounds. He got 6 offensive rebounds, 13 total, 31 points in the game. I love how hungry he is. He's been guarding Jimmy Butler too. He's been probably the best player in the series as of now. He's definitely outplayed Jimmy. Bam Adebayo has been poor, very poor. But Drew Holiday, 11 points, 5 of 12 tonight, 15 assists. He was getting in the paint, getting by his initial defender, and making the right play. He is hard to guard, and he is so strong that he can post up smaller, lighter guys, and he can defend some bigger players. And that's such a big luxury to have, a guard that can post up. He doesn't necessarily do it with skill. He does it with brute strength, but it's good enough for the 2 points. But the real X factors, I think PJ Tucker played great defense. I mean, this Bucks team is just so much more well-rounded, and you cannot sleep on continuity and what that does. Losing together is good. It brings you together. It brings you with a common goal to avenge that, and sometimes just keeping a similar squad, a young squad together, can be the best addition to a team. They have small additions around their core and one big addition in Drew Holiday, and they look like the better team by a lot right now. Miami, I mean, I love Jimmy Butler, but looking like he's not the number one scorer on a championship team. I never thought necessarily he was, but it looks like he's maybe a number 2 player on a championship team because this is not good enough. Shout out to Intel Wild for the dropping the dollars. I appreciate you. Super chats are turned on. So the Bucks lead 2-0. Now all the pressure's on the Heat. I'm going to be watching that Game 3 very closely from a Heat's fan perspective because this is it. Do or die. You can't go down 3-0. The Bucks are very hungry, and I really think this Bucks team is the one that can make it to the finals. I think it's a very likable story. I think, Giannis re-signing was great, and this may be it. 3rd time's the charm. I know they've been in the playoffs for a couple of years now, but it's really this Mike Budenholzer team that has really been a different sort of team, the Giannis MVP era. I guess you can say that's starting Giannis's prime, but honestly, I think that his prime hasn't begun. I think this may be the first year of it. We'll just see how this playoffs continues. But the final score from the Fiserv Forum, 132-98 in favor of Milwaukee. They lead the series 2-0. Bryn Forbes was incredible. 22 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 6 of 9 from deep. That's 66%. Bobby Portis was fantastic as well, 11 points. Might I mention, they were really trying to hurt Giannis, or not hurt Giannis, but get physical with him, wrap him up, hard fouls, and Giannis took it like a champ. 31, 13, and 6 for the Greek Freak on 12 of 23 from the field. He was trying to shoot threes at the end to try to get something going. He wasn't making them, but it was irrelevant. 1 of 7 from 3, 6 of 7 from the line, so much better. And then Chris Middleton was 17, if I didn't already say that. Pat Connaughton, 15 points on 5 of 9. Bam Adebayo, 16 points. 5 of 11 looks good. If you had seen how many open shots that he got and missed, oh, it was terrible to watch. But Jimmy Butler, 10 points. Yeah, not good enough. Let's move on to the last game. It was a must-win game for the Denver Nuggets in a similar situation in which the Clippers will be in tomorrow when I'm at Staples Center. But they were on it from minute 1. They were more aggressive. Jokic, again, extremely aggressive, dominating, whether it was catching the ball on the roll, diving to the basket. His touch around the basket is unbelievable. His one-on-one game, he was getting in that post, and he really is one of the few players in the league, very few, that has great post game, not just good, decent post game, great post game. He had some nice jump hooks over the right hand, or with the right hand over the left shoulder. Using the glass on many occasions, looking up and finding his teammates as he always does. Maga Porter Jr. Again, I thought he was fantastic, making a variety of shots, moving without the ball because Jokic is going to find you off the ball, finishing around the rim. He had 18 points on 5 of 13 from the field and 3 of 6 from 3. I thought that Damian Lillard, though, in that first half, he was just putting on a show. That was unbelievable. He was single-handedly keeping him in the game. And again, the Nuggets went to a lot of those, hedge and recover. And they were a little bit better about it today. I think they were, came up right on Dame, like really stepped up on him, didn't sag off as much. Jokic, came up on him a little bit. And a lot of other times, Maga Porter Jr. was pressing up on him off the screens. But, Dame, he gets that 1 second of daylight. Even in that moment where your point guard, whoever's guarding him, your initial primary defender is trying to recover on the hedge and recover, Dame just needs that 1 second. He was getting in his bag, and he was making some ridiculous shots. But I thought that overall, Monte Morris, Facundo Campazzo, he's a fighter, man. Works hard. 3 steals, really fights, plays physical, makes up for his lack of size with heart. I thought Austin Rivers, 9 points, 3 of 5. He was efficient. Millsap, 5 of 8, 15 points. I thought it was a much better all-around performance by the Nuggets role players. 12 points for Monte Morris. But it really all starts with the Joker. 38 points is just unbelievable. He was in attack mode. He is just the MVP. There's no other way to put it. Carmelo Anthony, not nearly as good. 1 of 5 tonight. Just wasn't in his bag at all. And limiting Carmelo, limiting Anthony Simons, who only played 10 minutes and only made 1 shot. He only took 1 shot. 3 points for him was the difference in the game. You couple up all the bench players for the Blazers. They had 5, 7, 9, 11, 14, 21 points off the bench. The Nuggets, on the other hand, had 38. So a nice advantage in that department. They had the best player on the court as well with Jokic. Yusuf Nurkic was limited very well. He had 6 fouls. He was fouled that he could never gain a rhythm. 7 points, 13 boards for Nurkic. 2 of 8 from the field. Robert Covington barely got any open shots. 1 of 3 from the field for him and only 3 points. CJ, 9 of 12, another 21-point outing. Dame with double that, 42 points on 11 of 24 from the field and an incredible 9 of 16 from 3 to go along with 10 assists, another double-digit assist game. But in the second half, they really limited that, and that started with Aaron Gordon guarding Lillard as a primary defender, and he was fighting through screens, and he was really playing good defense. And you got to give Aaron Gordon a lot of credit for that. He was making life very tough on Dame. He wasn't getting nearly the same looks. But in the second half, I don't know. The game kind of got a little ugly. A lot of fouls, a lot of stoppages. But Jokic was just still so good. Monte Morris getting in his mid-range area, attacking Enes Kanter any chance he got. And the Blazers, just their effort level, their defense was so poor. They played like they, were up 1-0 and they got what they came for. They didn't come for that, putting any pressure on that second game. They got, there was free throws where the Nuggets were getting offensive rebounds, and that's unacceptable. That's just, they wanted it more. They clearly wanted it more. Maga Porter Jr. stealing the ball from, I think it was either Dame or CJ at half court, diving on the ground, Facundo Campazzo flying all over the place. It was they wanted it more. As cliche as that sounds, the Blazers just weren't making the effort plays, weren't getting those offensive rebounds. Joker was dominating. And there was somewhere they were just uncontested. And, getting beat in transition when Joker's throwing one-handed outlets down the court. Portland got what they came for. You got to like what they're you got to like the way they're looking going into the Rose Garden, because that game 3 is going to be very exciting. I think this series is unpredictable, and I think the best of it is yet to come. But let's look at the final lines. Joker's the player of the game tonight, there's no doubt. 38 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 15 of 20, 75% from the field. And shout out to the Nuggets fans. They were really good, even with around only, I think, either 8,000 capacity or 10,000. They were great. Aaron Gordon was really solid. He hit 2 threes in the second half, and he was active around the basket as well. And his defense on Damian Lillard in the second half really paid dividends. And what's crazy is that the Nuggets won with the Blazers shooting 16 of 33 from 3. So 48.5% from 3, and they still won the game. Aaron Gordon, 13 points, 4 of 9 from the field, and 2 of 2 from 3, both of those coming from the left corner in the second half. But the series is tied at 1. The Nuggets win it 128-109. It's going to be a good one going forward, folks. Make sure to let me know what you think of these recaps. Let me know what you think. Holler at me on Twitter. Tomorrow, I think we'll release a vlog, and there's obviously not going to be any live because I will be going to the game myself. So Clippers, big game. Laker fans, I apologize. Don't worry, though. I will watch all the games still because it's the playoffs and your boy's committed. Now we're going to go to the live chat. Drop $1 or a dime. Peace. What's up, y'all? I can't be on too long because I was going to see a friend that I haven't seen in a minute. So give me all you got. Yeah, let Denver rebound their own free throws. Brian for the win. Bang. Dorian, how was the Clippers-Mavs game? It was fun, man. It was fun. Luka Doncic, though, really killed us. Wow, thanks, Intel Wild, man. I really appreciate you, bro. Hey, that's very kind of you, dude. Hey, man, shout out. I'll be a little nice to you when the Lakers lose this year. Just kidding. I'm going to be such a dick, man. You're going to regret giving me that $50. But, hey, man, I really appreciate you, man. Intel Wild. You're a diehard. Lake Show, Jonah Kim. Oh. Lake Show, Jonah Kim, Raid Chowdhury, Maniac. All you guys that are here every night. Sun Legend. I appreciate you a lot. ZZ Visions. All you guys that are always here supporting the lives, man. We just keep building. We got to reach that 3,000 subscribers minimum by this playoffs. Hopefully get to 5,000 by the finals. Just got to keep on putting on the content, gentlemen. Dime is not active on Tinder. Don't get any ideas, Edgar. I ain't on that online shit, bro. I ain't on that online shit. For some reason, when I'm online, oh, man, I could be the ugliest man in the world to these women. It's all about the in-person. Yo, Dime. What you think about the Kwame Brown saga? I think Kwame Brown's fucking hilarious. It's awesome hearing his name for the first time in a minute. And I think that, I think it was funny to begin with. I think he's gone a little overboard with how much he's talking. But shit, he's been shat on for 10 years, so more power to him. 10 plus years, to be honest. Honestly, almost 20 years now. And I think that Matt Barnes and them were taking a little unnecessary shot. So good for Kwame. Is Rudy Gobert a top 5 center in the NBA today? I think he is. I think he's honestly better than – the way Bam is playing right now, Rudy's better than him. Because if he's more comfortable in his own skin. Bam looks like he's having some growing pains right now. But I'd say definitely, Jokic and Embiid are in a class of their own. Karl Anthony Towns, I would still put him above Gobert and Bam. But, he's been injured a lot. But I also think a dark horse for that is this man we just watched him play. No, not Brook Lopez. What the hell's his name? I'm blanking, gentlemen. Oh, Valanciunas, honestly, I think is a sleeper in that category. I'd honestly think that Jonas has an argument to be better than some of those guys. Not the Embiids of the world and then Jokic, of course, though. Valanciunas. Does Steph Curry's legacy take a hit with that loss to Memphis? Not really. Not really. It had a chance, though, to take a massive up if he had gotten that team in the playoffs, just because of the way he played that season. Just would have been a mission accomplished type of deal. Didn't accomplish the mission. No, but I was thinking of someone else besides Valanciunas, I believe. Ayton. Ayton has a chance to start getting into this category with the way he's playing. If he can outplay Anthony Davis a whole series, which I doubt, but if he can, the Suns just win the series, period. Woo. Yes, tomorrow is do or die for the Clippers. Absolutely is. No questions asked. We better win. Not Vucevic. Vucevic is top 10, though, for sure. All right, gentlemen, get your last questions out. I'm going to be off. Lakers, baby. The Bucks I saw tonight beating the next dime. Greatest rebounder ever. I think that has to be Big Bill Russell. Or Dennis Rodman. Because the ball come over here, I'm going to drop it over there. Anyway, they're both great. Will Chamberlain's in that conversation as well. Anyway. Anything? Leonard has to defend Luka the majority of the game tomorrow. He has to sacrifice his stats with PG. Really has to step up. I agree. Among role players. Wilt is up there for sure. Wilt is definitely up there. I think Wilt, though, has a tendency sometimes he didn't want to come out and commit fully because he wants to sit there and get rebounds and blocks. Whereas Bill Russell is just going to make the right – if he's needs to get out to contest the mid-range on Hal Greer, he's going to do that. Or Oscar Robertson, he's going to do that. If he's going to sit in the paint, he's going to do that too. Bill's going to do whatever it takes. But, yeah. What's up, Mark Blue? My guy. Top 5 Clipper role players all time? Lake Show? Someone said the WNBA plays like 1960s. They don't. They dribble like today's players of the NBA. They play nothing like the 60s. Although I will say this, they may have better fundamentals than the men. That's the only thing they got in common with the 60s. of all time. Oof. Does Sam Cassell count as a role player? Because I think he's a little better than a role player. Katino Mobley, Sean Livingston. I mean, the guys from the 06 team, man, they ring different from me. Corey Maggette. I mean, these guys are my guys. Caron Butler, underrated shout. I loved Caron Butler. Eric Bledsoe was great. Darren Collison. Oh, Jamal Crawford. I mean, who doesn't like? Is there anyone in the world that doesn't like Jamal Crawford? I don't think I've ever met one person in the history of mankind that doesn't like Jamal Crawford. He may be the most likable player in the history of the world. No, I'm just kidding. He's up there, though. Lou Williams was until he started being ridiculous, the lemon pepper. But I still like Lou Williams. Those are it. I don't think we had that many great role players on the Clippers so I can't think of a top five. Katino Mobley. I mean, okay, Sam Cassell is number one. If that counts as a role player, he blows everybody out of the water. Sam Cassell, Jamal Crawford, Katino Mobley, Corey Maggette, and I'd say I like Sean Livingston more than Eric Bledsoe. Well, does Rondo count? Because if Rondo's there, he's like top three. Because I love Rondo. You think Kawhi can stop Luka tomorrow? I think he can help contain him. Don, how many Lakers fans came at you after game one just to feel a game one loss? Oh, like 5 or 6 minimum? It was ridiculous. They're getting so excited. No lives during the games, Air Andrews. I got to enjoy the experience, man. I wish I could do that for you guys, but I need to take it all in. I'll record some video for you guys for the vlogs, maybe. Bev? I like Bev. He's not in that category, bro. He talks too much for how good he is still. Mo Taylor, I didn't get to watch enough of. What do you think of the clip of Draymond saying NBA players don't know how to play basketball? Did you see me use that in my video? By the way, guys, two things. One, if you haven't seen my video, Is the NBA Getting Better and Better? Please go watch it because it applies so much. And this season has proven my point tenfold. It has aged beautifully. And then my other video, go watch my interview with my boy Will Johnson, the first ever Dime Dropper featuring. He talked a lot about why my perspective. He's the one that opened me up to the old NBA. His grandpa was the great Marcus Johnson, color commentator for the Bucks and former All-Star. He played for Oregon with Peyton and Bull. Go watch the interview. He talked about playing against LaMelo. It's one of my best videos. 2 cameras. So go peep that video. He talked about LeBron, and he was talking a lot of real about him. Go check it out. Maybe even a little too harsh. In my opinion, maybe a little too harsh. He called Larry Bird the greatest small forward ever. So go check that video out. What Clipper chick? There's a Clipper chick with me? I wish. All right, bro. Peace out, y'all.